So I had a great opportunity to gain experience. And a great quote about experience is, good judgment is gained through experience, right? And one way to gain experience is through bad judgment. So when you make mistakes, all right, when you make mistakes, you gain experience. And that's what we talk about. And experience is necessary to have that good judgment, to make good decisions. So when you make a mistake on a call, you make a mistake, and maybe you said something you didn't intend to say, it's the second best thing that can happen, right? The second best thing that can happen is you make a mistake. Why is that? Why is that the second best thing that can happen? And why is it even a good thing that you make a mistake? Yeah, you learn from it, you identify, right? It's all about identification. So when you make a mistake, you have to identify it and say, all right, that's not what I want to do. So consistency is all about identification. Identifying what works, and you keep doing it, right? But identifying also what doesn't work when you make that mistake, and then you learn from it and you stop doing it. So that's what consistency is. It's all about identification. And it's so important to have this idea in the back of your mind. If I make a mistake, second best thing that can happen, I know what not to do. Now I'm going to act and develop and cultivate behaviors that allow me to do those things that make me successful. So that's consistency. Confidence. You turn on TV. I have this little test I do with my 19-month-old son, Henrik. We watch NHL Live every morning. And I try to see how long I can go on watching NHL Live without hearing consistency or confidence. Turn on ESPN, turn on CNN, turn on CNBC. And then in my opinion, these are the two words that are at the highest premium in our culture, in cultures around the world. So think about it. Do the test. Turn on a television show, any talk show, any show about personal development, any show about athletes, any show about sports, and listen for the words consistent and confidence. And I challenge you to go more than 5 minutes watching that TV show without hearing one of those two words. So we're going to outline this systematic approach. And when you hear a system, you say, oh, right, wrong. This is right, that's wrong. Listen to me. That's not the case. A system is just an organized approach. It makes sense. It's a progression. An organized approach, one event leads to the next event. So it's a system, an organized approach. In my opinion, this is what works. So we've already outlined confidence. Confidence, what is confidence? Everyone has a different opinion of confidence. And in my opinion, what confidence is just my perception of my own abilities. So it's my perception, it's an idea in my mind of my own abilities. What I think I'm good at, what I'm not good at, and it's a positive feeling. So if you break it down, confidence is a positive feeling. Can we all agree to that? It's a positive feeling. Positive feelings come from a positive thought. Simple cognitive behavior theory. Any psych majors? Anyone take a high school psychology class in this room? Few? Anyone watching on MUDD TV? Jim Sr., did you take a high school psychology class? I bet you did. So a high school psychology class, you're going to learn. You're going to learn that how you think is how you act. So a positive thought comes from accomplishing a goal. Accomplishing a goal comes from setting a goal. Number one habit of highly effective people, Stephen Covey talks about the number one habit of highly effective people is develop a proactive mindset. That's the number one habit. Number one habit is develop a proactive mindset. All that means is to set goals. Like Jim Sr. wrote in the Ad Man, it was just an amazing book I just finished up, and talking about writing down your goals, setting goals, and talking about serving others leads to success, sharing with others leads to significance. Oh man, when I saw that, I was reading the book, looking for the S ring, wondering what it meant, and I saw those two lines, and I said, wow, this is going to be an amazing fit. And it just got me excited about coming down here to MUDD because I knew the principles that we share are going to be very similar. So that idea of serving others leads to success, sharing with others leads to significance is just a mainstay, and it really hit me at home. So an idea about sharing. Sharing, what does it mean when you share? When you share your knowledge with other people? It means you're confident that that knowledge can help them. It also means that you're confident that they're going to give you feedback that maybe they're not going to like all of it. So you're gaining that confidence. You're building that confidence. A great quote about sharing is, "He who lights his taper at mine receives light without darkening me." Wow. Who's that quote from? Anyone know? Gary. Who's that? Is that Gary? Is that your quote? Yeah. So that quote is a Jefferson quote. He was a president. So it's a pretty good one. He who shares his light, or he who lights his taper at mine receives light without darkening me. So you can imagine, this room is pitch black. There's no studio lights in here, and I'm holding a candle. And I have a candle, and I'm trying to find my way out of the room, or I'm trying to find some food, or I'm trying to find a pile of money sitting in the corner. And you guys are all in the room, and I'm hoarding my candle, and I'm not sharing any of my knowledge with you, and I'm trying to do everything on my own. It's not going to work, right? I could barely see what's going on. But now, Gary comes over to me, and I share my light with him. All right, now there's two candles. I didn't lose any of my knowledge. I didn't lose any of my light. All of a sudden, there's two candles. And we have the self-esteem and the confidence to share our knowledge with other people and say, all right, now Jackie's going to come up here, and we're going to share another candle. And pretty soon the light illuminates the room, and we become enlightened. We all share our knowledge, and we gain significance through that sharing. And now, boom, there's all kinds of light in this room. We can see that there's great catered food on the side. There's a pile of money that we can all share here. There's a big hole up here, so we want to avoid that spot. It's just a great opportunity. So that's the whole idea of sharing and gaining this confidence. So there's so much that I want to share with you guys, but the number one thing that we want to start off with are these principles. When you have a business, when you have relationships, when you talk about ideas, we want to talk about principles. And these are ideas that transcend activity. So whether you're in the gym working out, whether you're writing an ad campaign, whether you're on a call with a prospective client, whether you're coaching hockey players, which I do on a regular basis, these principles transcend activity. So the principles of consistent confidence. Imagine this triangle. All of you have the handout. Everyone watching on MUDD TV, imagine a triangle. So at the top of this triangle, you have accountability. Accountability is knowing your job, doing your job, and being responsible for the outcome. That's what it is. Linear thinking, boom, boom, boom. Simple, to the point. It's job related. All right? On the bottom left-hand side, you have the idea of tenacity. All right? Persistence. Driving through adversity is the first bullet point. Driving through adversity. And adversity is just a great way of saying a challenge. Don't say something is hard. Don't say I'm tired. Say this is a challenge. Gaining this customer is a challenge. All right? Waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, if that's not your habit, is a challenge. All right? It's not what you're used to. It's a challenge. It's adversity. You drive through it. Keep moving forward is the second bullet point of tenacity. Keep moving forward, right? You're always changing. Always changing. Heraclitus. I'm really throwing out the quotes here, guys. Heraclitus, a pre-Socratic philosopher. I went to St. Thomas University. I took a few philosophy classes. And so Heraclitus says you can never stick your foot in the same river twice. You're always changing, right? You go down to that river, it looks the same, but guess what? It's always changing underneath, even though you're not aware of it. So we're always changing. So make a point to always be changing in the positive. Always keep moving forward. That's the second idea, second bullet point of tenacity. And then the last bullet point of tenacity is grit. Now, what a hell of a word grit is. It's one of my favorite words. It's a battle mentality. Talk to an NHL scout, they want to find players that have grit, that keep moving forward, that have that persistence. It's not so much what happens when things are going well, it's what happens when things aren't going well. Do you have grit? Can you battle? Can you drive through that adversity? No threshold to the amount of grit a person can have. And then finally, the last principle of consistent confidence is passion. Now, passion, I mean, you say passion, you can't fake it. Either you have it or you don't, and if you don't have it, you should find something that you're passionate about, because that's what's the first step to the success is finding what you're passionate about. Passion is simply intrinsic motivation. What you're doing when no one's looking. It's loving what you do. And then my favorite word. And when I saw that Jim Sr. was the Chief Spirit Officer of MUDD Advertising, spirit is the final principle of consistent confidence. And what spirit is, it's the energy you bring to a situation. Now, you may not really like what you're doing. You may not feel like it. Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't. I always ask the people that I work with on a regular basis, what type of energy are you bringing to this situation? Are you bringing a positive energy? Are you bringing no energy? Or are you bringing a negative energy? It's your choice. No one else controls it. So you have an opportunity to ask yourself, what type of spirit am I bringing to the situation? What type of energy am I bringing to the situation?